Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of Terrible Theories. This time, we are going to be talking about the Pokemon anime. Now, uh, I absolutely adored the Pokemon anime when I was growing up. I watched the Kanto and Johto seasons, which were the first 5 seasons of the anime. I watched all 5 of those seasons. They were fantastic. Absolutely loved them. I have the DVDs for the first 5 seasons, and I can still go back to those first 5 seasons and still enjoy them just as much. They were such a huge part of my childhood. Um, but then after that, I trickled off of the anime. I did not like May as a character. I thought she was not. I didn't find her enjoyable. I didn't find her interesting. Um, Dawn was a bit better of a character to follow Ash around, but I hated the change. I wanted Missy to keep hanging around. Um, like I had a huge crush on Misty when I was real little. Um, and yeah, she was one of my early tomboy crushes. So yeah, she really helped kind of shape the kind of girls that would wind up liking in my life. But as the anime continued, I got less and less interested. And by the time we got to the black and white anime, I had just completely dropped out of the. I had completely dropped off of Pokemon in general. For quite a long time, I was just no longer interested at all. Like not even in the slight, and not even the slightest. Um, and Eventually, I got back into Pokemon. I started getting back into the games, and more recently, I finally started watching the anime again. I skipped the black and white anime. I skipped the majority of the black and white anime. I saw like three, 3 or 4 episodes, I think, and I just hated both of the people that were with Ash. I hated Iris, and I hated the butler looking dude who's a good cook. Like I hate both of them. They are both so annoying. I could not stand either of them. Um so yeah, I was like, yeah, there's no way. I'm not gonna watch 3 whole seasons of this garbage. So I skipped it. Um and yeah, I watched X and Y. Thought that was a perfectly fine series, and I'm currently in the middle of watching. Um, I'm currently in the middle of watching the Sun and Moon anime. And that's pretty good. That's that's a pretty good series, and I just want to talk about the series that is currently airing, the 26th season, which is a 12-episode event. Technically it's 11 episodes, but there was a OVA episode that's kind of a prequel to this story. So 12 episodes for this final season of Ash's journey, the 26th season of the anime, the final season in Ash's journey. Pokemon is saying goodbye to his character, and I am so excited to see how his story ends. And I'm currently watching that. And I have done a ton of research for this video. So when I tell you my thoughts on what I think, on how I think the answers to these questions that I'm going to pose are, these are based on everything that I've seen of the anime. These are based on everything I've seen in the anime and based on all the research that I've done for this video. So I have a short list here of 5 questions that still need to be answered. These are 5 questions that still need to be answered by the end of this 12-episode event. Those questions being, number 1, will Pikachu evolve? Number 2, will we meet Ash's dad? Number 3, will Ash catch a legendary? Number 4, will Ash get together with anyone? And who will it be? Number 5, what will Ash's final team be? Ash recently became the world champion, but he became world champion using his Gen 8 Sword and Shield team. That's not his world champion team. That's not the team that he's going. That's not the final team he will ever have. No, this, like, he needs a final team, one that is going to be like his defining world champion team. The one that he's going to be using for pretty much the rest of his life. So I want to answer those 5 questions. Let's go ahead and start with the easiest ones. Will Pikachu evolve? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Pikachu will evolve. Not only... so a lot of people will say that, oh, well, yeah, of course, Ash has had that Thunderstone since the early seasons. But he actually got rid of that. He got rid of that Thunderstone. But from what I had researched, he got another one in Pokemon Journeys. He got another Thunderstone in Pokemon Journeys and has held on to that one. So he got rid of the previous Thunderstone that he had, which was following up on him keeping that one. That is what's known as Chekhov's gun. Where in a story, if you have a gun that is shown off, that is explicitly shown off within the first act of a story, that gun has to be fired by the end of the second act. It is build up and payoff. That is what Chekhov's gun is. It's build up and payoff. And we got that build up and that payoff in the early seasons. He kept a Thunderstone and then eventually gave it away. That was the payoff. But now he has another Thunderstone that he got in Pokemon Journeys. We haven't had any sort of payoff with that. There has not yet been a payoff with that, which means there has to be a payoff. That stone is going to have to be used. So, and, everyone who has ever seen even a single episode of the anime knows that Ash's Pikachu needs to evolve. Everyone wants to see Ash's Pikachu evolve at some point. And the whole reason why the Pokemon Company has never done it before is because, well, Ash was the face of the anime. He was the main character, and Pikachu was the mascot for the Pokemon series in general. So, it wasn't going to be right, It's not right to force Pikachu to evolve. Hair getting in my mouth. The timing wasn't right to have Pikachu evolve. The timing it wasn't right. But now, Ash is leaving. His Pikachu is leaving. The last time we will ever see either of them, most likely, he'll probably get a cameo in future generations. But this is the last journey where Ash and his Pikachu are the focus. If there was ever a time to evolve Pikachu, it's now, in this final journey. Most likely in the final episode of this event. But I am 100% confident we will see Pikachu evolve by the end of this event. Will we meet Ash's dad? Yes. Yes, because in the prequel to this whole story, in the prequel to this final event, we get a little conversation between him and his mom saying that his dad is with her, and that he wants to see Ash. And so it takes a couple days for Ash to get from where he is to where his parents are. By the time he arrives, his mom tells him, "Oh, I'm sorry, Ash, but you just missed your father, but he left you a message saying that he's sure the two of you are going to meet again soon." So we are outright told that Ash will meet his father again soon. Granted, that is an OVA that is kind of a prequel to this current story, but also kind of not. It's weird because it's supposed to be a prequel to the story, but at the same time, at the end of this OVA, he gives up his Pokemon Journeys hat and gets his original hat back from the original series. He gets that back, but he still has his Johto hat. Not his Johto. He still has his Journeys hat here in this event. So it's weird. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to work, because like we're told that the OVA is supposed to be a prequel to the event. That's what we are told by the Pokemon Company. So I'm curious exactly. I'm not sure how that works. It's probably just a little bit of a continuity error on their part. They probably forgot to. They probably just forgot to change his hat. But who knows? Who will Ash get together with? Now, as far as I could tell from all of my research, because again, I am not fully finished with the Sun and Moon anime, and I haven't yet started with Pokemon Journeys. But as far as I can tell, Serena, who is one of the most it's either Misty or Serena. Those are the two most popular girls for Ash to hook up with. Like, everybody is on like one fence or another. Everybody's on one side of the argument or the other. And from what I could tell, from my research, it seems like Serena has not interacted with Ash since leaving in X and Y. She's had a couple very brief cameos where she's just kind of like shown. She doesn't really say anything, but she's just kind of shown like she's watching her television and watching Ash during the Pokemon battle to become the Alola champion. She was watching him on television. Same thing with his world championship. She was watching on the television. Didn't say anything. So as far as I can tell, she has not interacted with him once since the end of X and Y. Meanwhile, Misty has been in every single generation since leaving at the end of Johto. She shows up for a 40-minute special in Pokemon Advanced, and then she shows up for an episode or two in Diamond and Pearl. I don't think, if I remember correctly from my research, I don't think she ever appears in Black and White, but I hate Black and White, so I don't care about that. She shows up for, I think, a episode in X and Y. And then I know for a fact she shows up several times throughout Sun and Moon and Journeys. She shows up several times throughout those. So she has been a prevalent character throughout the anime. She has been in almost every generation in some form. So they do not want you to forget Misty. Whereas Serena, seems like the anime kind of did forget about her, because they haven't had her interact with Ash even once since the end of X and Y. So, and here in this current situation, here in this current uh, 12 episodes that they're airing, Misty is the one with Ash. It's Ash, Misty, and Brock, the original trio. They're back together again. And yeah, it's Misty who's sticking around throughout the whole thing. He's interacting with other companions that he's traveled with, but they're only there for a single episode. They show up, they do their thing, and then they leave. Basically, all of Ash's former companions are getting one last hurrah before leaving the series, essentially. That is essentially what this is. So the fact that it is Ash, Misty, and Brock here at the end, they're the ones that are sticking around. They are the ones that Ash is sticking with. Everyone else is just going to leave the show. So that automatically kind of eliminates Serena from the running. She's essentially going to appear in one of these episodes and then leave by the end of the episode, while Misty is going to still be right beside Ash the whole time. So that this pretty much confirms that it's going to be Ash and Misty by the end. And I think I didn't really understand why so many people enjoyed Serena, honestly, at first. After watching the X and Y anime, I get it. She is a good character. I do like her character. But I can't deny I'm also pretty happy that it's going to be Misty by the end. I can't deny that because just I have such nostalgia for the first 5 seasons. So I'm kind of biased, but I do like Serena as a character. I think she is a really good character. I just don't think it's going to be her. It's going to be Ash and Misty. So 2 more questions. Will Ash catch a legendary? Yes. Ash has not yet caught a legendary. Ash has befriended several legendaries and mythicals throughout the course of the anime, but he has never once caught a legendary. It is something that the entire anime has basically been building up to, that eventually he's going to catch his own legendary. The whole anime has been building up to this. I think that the special event going on has already kind of shown us what legendary he's going to end up catching. I think it's going to be Latias, because Latias shows up in one of the earliest episodes of this special event, and Ash saves it from Team Rocket. And since then, it's been following Ash throughout the entire event. It's been following Ash. It's been watching him basically from the sidelines. It's been cloaked. It's been invisible this whole time, and it's been just kind of like watching him and seeing how he interacts with other people and other Pokemon. And Latias is beginning to enjoy watching him more and more. So I think that the anime is building up to the fact that Latias is going to eventually reveal itself to Ash and actually offer to be caught by him. So he will finally have a legendary. So I feel pretty confident that that is what's going to happen. I feel pretty confident that Latias will be Ash's legendary. But that leads me to the final question. What will Ash's final team be? I think the concept of Ash's final team is it's his team that he's going to have throughout the rest of his life. This is his ultimate team, his world champion team. The team that he will use whenever somebody comes up to challenge him for his title. This is the team that he's going to use. So he needs his strongest team he's ever had. the strongest team he's ever had, the best Pokemon that he has in his arsenal. Who is going to be on that team? And I've looked at every single Pokemon Ash has ever had. Every single Pokemon Ash has ever had throughout the series. And I think I have figured out what his final team will be. His final team will consist of Raichu, after Pikachu has evolved, Charizard, because fans have wanted to see Charizard come back in the anime for quite a while, and a lot of fans were thinking that his Charizard was going to come back during the World Champion tournament, and it didn't. Charizard has been such a iconic Pokemon for Ash, so like that has to be part of the team. Then there's Dragonite, the pseudo legendary, and not only is it a pseudo legendary, but it's a pseudo legendary from the Kanto region, Ash's home region. And throughout Pokemon Journeys, Ash has a immense bond with his Dragonite. Again, I haven't watched Journeys yet. I haven't started watching it yet, but from everything that I read on all the research I did, it seems like he has an insane bond with Dragonite. Speaking of Pokemon that he bonds with in Journeys, Lucario is another one. And Lucario, fans have wanted Ash to get a Lucario since the Lucario movie, back during the events of the third generation, during the Pokemon Advanced era of the anime. Fans have wanted to see him get a Lucario since then. And yeah, I really do think that he is going to have a Lucario, especially seeing as how his Lucario can mega evolve, and it once again he has an insane bond with it, like even deeper bond than with his Dragonite, honestly. But there's another Pokemon that can mega evolve, and Ash has an insane bond with, and that's his Greninja. No ultimate team for Ash would be complete without Ash Greninja. His Greninja got a completely new mega evolution, Ash Greninja, because that's just how strong Ash's bond with his Greninja was. It completely changed how the mega evolution looked. So Greninja has to be on there. Just there's no doubt in my mind Greninja is going to be on that team. And finally, the sixth member is going to be Latias, the legend, Ash's first ever caught legendary. I am positive that he is going to have Latias be on there, because Latias, it's not like Groudon, Rayquaza, Palkia, Dialga, Reshiram, Zekrom, like the big legendaries that are just godly with what they can do. No, Latias is considered a legendary, but it's not nearly as deadly as some of the other legendaries out there. It's not nearly as deadly as some of the other legendaries out there. It's a lot more tame, and it's not super overpowered. It's a lot closer to the other Pokemon that he has on his team. So I think that it is a fair Pokemon to have on Ash's team, and I think that that's going to be his ultimate team: Raichu, Dragonite, Charizard, Greninja, Lucario, and Latias. I think that will be his 6 Pokemon team. And as one final note, going back to the question of whether or not we'll see Ash's dad. Now, this, I don't really need to answer this question because I don't think it matters who is Ash's father. I don't think it matters who his father is, to be honest, because it's about Ash. It's not about his father. It's about him. So I don't think it really matters who his father ends up being. His father could look like an incredibly generic-looking guy, and it wouldn't really matter because this was Ash's story, not Ash's father's story. With that said, I do have my personal preference as to who I would love to see turn out to be Ash's father. Red. From the games. I would love to see a grown-up Red turn out to be Ash's father. That would be amazing. That would be hilarious. I would laugh my ass off if it turned out that Ash was the son of Red. So that would be great. That would be fantastic. I would love that so much. But yeah, in any case, that's all the questions answered. I have given my own answers to each of these. And I guess we'll see by the end of March whether or not I was correct on any of these. Hopefully I got at least one of these questions answered correctly. Hopefully I at least answered one of them. If I can get at least one of these 5 questions right, I will be satisfied. I will be very happy. So, but with that said, that's going to do it for me. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. And I will see you all next time for the next Terrible Theory. Take care, everybody.